Ready.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
First off, we give all praises to Yahweh.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua.
Shalom to the elders and Nakim, and through thy precepts we get
I get understanding.
Get that out. Some understanding.
Sirach, chapter 46 and 17.
Bring
it out! And the Lord thundered from heaven with a great noise, made his voice to be heard.
He made his voice to be heard. Right now we're living in a time where what? The Lord's voice is not heard. These churches are liars, pastors are liars, okay? Religion is garbage. People are not hearing the true words of the Lord. It's about the thunder. They're about to hear it. And it's about to be a sudden thing for them.
Well, Salagi, bro, and it was like you said, it was thunder today in Baltimore, and it struck a church. You feel me? That's the spirit. You feel me?
Yeah, a lightning bolt struck the top of a church and it was on fire.
Yeah.
And people were amazed with it. With the Edomite had a 50-minute video on it, 50 minutes saying nothing.
Yeah.
We know that was just the Lord
Con.
showing off.
Flex.
That flexing his mic.
It's like, just like the Lord had the lightning strike the church, just like a couple years ago. Remember that was it the crane or what it fell in the mosque?
Kind
You know,
Wait,
destroyed the mosque in I think over in Mecca or whatever.
Mhm.
This Lord, man, I'm telling you, man, he's not dwelling in these places, man.
Can't get terrorists, man.
It's not the Lord's house, right? Because they talk about love, 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 right? Well, the Lord is all about righteousness.
That's right.
To tell you to love a homosexual.
That's right.
You can't love that, man. 'Cause real quick, Proverbs 8 and 7, 8 and 13. Proverbs 8 and 13. Yeah.
Bring it up.
You're not supposed to love wickedness. We hate the same things the Lord hates.
That's right.
And the Lord does hate a lot of things. Somebody get that.
I got it. This is Proverbs chapter 8, verse 13.
Bring it out.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. Mister, you hate evil? Yeah. Well, that makes my day. You see an Edomite all jacked up.
All praises.
That literally made my day. I was having a kind of rough morning.
God, all praises.
What's up? Okay.
Pride and arrogance.
Pride and what?
Pride and arrogance.
Pride and arrogance, like how you had, of course, nothing has changed with the COVID-19. It's just gaining steam. People are proud and arrogant. Oh, I'm going to still do my spring break.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down Miami, Florida, wherever, Ocean City. I'm going to still turn up.
God.
And they turning up inside the hospital beds.
Yep.
They're running out of staff and ventilators. While we sitting back just looking at the news with a smile on our face,
Yeah. Rejoicing.
rejoicing.
And the evil way and the foreign mouth do I hate.
In the evil way. Okay, this world is full of evil ways. Women over men, homosexuality. It's a whole laundry list. We can have 5 hours straight on what's going wrong with this society. There's not nothing going right. The Lord said he hates the froward way too, which means what? Being deceitful.
Being out of order.
Don't they? Exactly. Which is nothing but we see here. And you wonder why this place going to be taken down. It should have been taken down, in my personal opinion. But again, we know it's the Most High time.
That's right.
This place is a filthy mess. You know that.
I got precept to that.
Oh, go ahead.
This 2 Peter 2 and 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those after that shall live ungodly.
Yeah, yo, making them an example. You know what I'm saying? You ever been in a classroom and a student will be like a class clown? And the teacher will say, look, man, I'm about to make an example out of you. And now he got to sit in the corner with dunce hat on. Now he can't participate in recess. Take your recess away. And everybody else look like, yo, I don't want my recess took away. Let me act right and report it.
Yup.
What's going on?
This verse 7.
Yep.
And delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
And Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, wasn't he? Men coming up, let me know those men in your household.
Right.
Bunch of flaming faggots, man. He was vexed by that comment. He was vexed by a lot of things that was going on. But his woman wasn't vexed. She was with it. You know what I'm saying? Keep going out.
It's verse 8.
Yep.
For that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vex his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds.
I know. See that? Vexed his what out? Read that again, please.
Vex his soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds.
See that? It vexed Lot's soul day to day with the unlawful deeds of the wicked. And we feel that same type of thing as well. Okay? Every day we're angry with this world. You know, what you about to say,
and that go back to Proverbs 8:13. Hate the evil, you feel me?
Exactly.
He was vexed by the conversation of the evil.
The Lord commanded us to hate the evil and love the good. Right? Which there's not much good.
Can I add something to that?
Yep.
And Lot had great substance where he was. So he was like one of the elites. He had everything he could ever want. And still was disgusted with everything.
That because this world is not your product, right? This is a prison sentence. It's really all it is. First of all, being in your flesh is a prison sentence, but then being in captivity, living amongst his modern day Rome. Right? Let it out. Somebody hold me on. But the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
That's right.
Let me continue on Sirach.
You're going to destroy this place, yeah.
Sirach 46:17.
Read out.
And the Lord thundered from heaven, and with a great noise made his voice to be heard.
That was it on that. When made his voice to be heard, the Lord's voice is going to get Isaiah 24:1. How about Shem Yahushua's voice is not going to be denied? Yeah, you deny it through his men that's teaching you the word, but pretty soon people are going to understand that what's going on is divine. It's in the heavens. Get that Jake right there, man. Since when has Jake been afraid of things like this? He's got a mask on,
Right.
gloves, and I guarantee you, since he's doing all that, he's on his way to work. You think his work cares about him? They don't care about him.
At all.
All right? He probably got to fill a quota. And by the way, I didn't even know this. I just found this out. Liquor stores are essential, right? So check that out, right?
Essential.
You know why?
Because they're gonna be like, if Jake ain't got nothing to drink, and at the wallet be in the house, he gonna get a little cabin fever, a little stir crazy, and he's gonna start wilding out.
Yeah, so Ishmael can still sell y'all half a pint and all that.
And I seen mad people on Facebook talking about that. Like, yo, the liquor stores ain't open. What we gonna do?
Right.
See, you feel me? They ain't going crazy, you know?
Continuing on, Sirach 46:18.
Read out.
And he destroyed the rulers of the Tyrians and all the princes of the Philistines.
That's the point. The Most High, when he wags his hand and he's ready to strike, he's going to strike. And there's nothing you can do about it. We know the Most High Yahweh is about to strike on this society. You know, we just read the accounts of how he's done these other nations when they was in rulership. So the same thing going to happen. The Lord says that what? He's not a man he should lie, and there's nothing new under the sun.
That's right.
So you got a wicked society that has to go out.
And this is talking about a man named Jesus, son of Nave. And before his long sleep, he made presentations in the sight of the Lord and his anointed. I have not taken any man's goods so much as a shoe, and no man did accuse him. And after his death, he prophesied and showed the king his end, and lifted up his voice from the earth in prophecy to blot out the wickedness of the people.
Yeah, to blot out the wickedness of the people. So you got those prayer. Prayer is very important. You can ward off evil spirits. You can ward off bad energy.
Also with prayer, you ask for what you need. You feel me? Because that's why you're supposed to examine yourself. Because the Most High know what you need. He just waiting for you to ask him for it.
That's why the scriptures say don't make much babbling when you pray, because the Lord already knows what your needs are. You better believe these Christians, they probably praying day and night. Oh Lord, I'm so afraid, but they're not under the pavilion. They're not, you know what I'm saying? If you're not a part of the elect, your prayers don't even matter. Really, your prayer is an abomination if you ain't following the laws. You know, let me get that one. Who's that? Who's reading?
I finished up on Sirach. The question was one at Isaiah 42.
Yeah, let me get this first, please. So I get it.
Can I bring this out real quick?
Yes, sir.
This is James chapter 5, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted,
Your
and
riches,
your garments moth eat.
your riches are corrupted. Right? This society was built upon corruption and lies,
Right?
and robbery, and theft, and identity theft. They call themselves the Jews. We're the real Jews.
That's right.
And we keep saying it over and over. Okay? But you slowly see this society crumbling down. Just like how it took time for it to set itself up, it'll take time for it to go down too. You just gotta be patient and don't let nobody steal your crown. Can I get this real quick?
No.
Oh, go ahead.
Verse 3. Your gold and silver is cankered,
Right?
and the rest of them shall be a witness against you.
So your riches was worth nothing at all. Because it can't deliver you from death. Riches that could deliver you from death, that's worth it. Not this shit. You know.
And shall eat your flesh as if it were fire.
And shall eat your flesh as it were fire. So it's going to be consumed. It's gone, man. Everything you work for in this society, thinking you're doing the right thing, is really all for naught. You know.
Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days.
And that's what people are doing. They're heaping treasure for the last days. Even from the elite to Joe Schmo the Edomite. Getting paper towels, making sure he's got Dawn dish detergent, making sure that he's got a bunch of meat in the freezer, man. None of it's gonna matter. Hand sanitizer.
Can I add something to that?
Uh-huh.
And when we got delivered out of Egypt, what do we have?
All of them.
Great substance.
Well, kind of.
Well, we didn't have nothing at the time.
no.
Left with great substance.
But the Lord provided for us while we was sojourning in the
Yeah,
wilderness.
ate manna in the wilderness.
Yeah.
The Lord will provide for you if you're lacking in need. If He's with you, that's the whole thing. Proverbs 28:9.
Bring it out.
He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. Okay? What did the Lord say? Sirach 15:13, please. The Lord hates all abomination. So your prayer is in vain and it's an abomination if it's not according to the precept.
Sirach chapter 15 and 13. The Lord hateth all abomination,
The Lord hateth all abomination.
and they that fear God love it not.
See that? And that's why we come out here and we have to prophesy against. We fear the Lord, so we have to tell the society about itself. All right? We wouldn't be doing our due diligence. A couple of weeks ago, we brought out Sirach 33 and how we're commanded to do this. Because we was bought with a price. And we love to do it too.
Come on.
It ain't a burden. The burden is living in this society.
Come on.
And you gotta look your enemy in the eye and act like he's equal to you. That's the real burden. The real burden is having your family out of order. That's the real burden. Women bucking up. That's the real burden, man. We don't know. Is that it?
No, I'm gonna continue on. But
Okay.
with that, it's like serving the Lord would be serving the land and serving the earth as well. Husbandry. But instead of serving the land, serving the Lord, and even serving yourself, you serving this whole system of fraud.
And you were part of it through your social security. Now they got the real ID, and then they're gonna have the microchip.
That's right.
Continuing on, Sirach 15 and 14. He himself made man from the beginning and left him in the hands of his counsel.
And left him in the hands of his counsel. And the Most High said what? What did he say to Adam? You don't touch that tree of good and evil. Knowledge. The Lord will leave you to your own devices. So that's why when he punishes you, that's not the Lord being malicious. That's you being, you acting up.
Yeah.
That's you going off. Right? Go on.
If thou wilt, to keep the commandments and to perform acceptable faithfulness, he hath set fire and water before thee.
That's right. He has set fire and water before you. Keep going.
Stretch forth thy hand unto whether thou wilt.
Stretch forth your hand to what you want to do. You want to perform wickedness or you want to perform righteousness. Now, of course, along the way, there's stumbling blocks along the way. But you got people that are inherently wicked, that would love to do wickedness, that have no desire to want the other side. Okay? That's why the Lord's going to come with great wrath for you.
That's right.
You don't even desire righteousness.
Before man is life and death,
Yep.
and whither him liketh shall be given him.
And like it shall be given you. Okay? So if you with wickedness, you're going to receive wickedness.
Right.
It's plain and simple, man. Hey, y'all are Hebrew Israelites. You know, this coronavirus thing is crazy, right? But it's the Most High. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
You know, brother. But Elijah Jake has zero time for this. Will eat up every Instagram post, CNN post. You know what I'm saying?
Facebook posts.
That's why I really don't I don't care for you niggas, man. We all got enough going on than to worry about you damn niggas. Keep going, brother.
For the wisdom of the Lord is great,
See that?
and he is mighty in power.
For the wisdom of the Lord is great, but wisdom is only going to be given to them that are worthy of her.
And beholdeth all things,
Huh?
and his eyes are upon them that fear him, and knoweth every work of man.
His eyes are upon them that fear him.
He hath commanded no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given any man license to sin.
So the Lord has not given you a license to sin, the church. So, you know, the Lord has given no man license to do wickedness. So you know how they say the Lord hates the sin and not the sinner? Get Sirach 12:6.
Bring it
Get
out.
that, man.
The Lord
Bring it
hates
out.
y'all, man. Because you hate him in turn. Okay?
Sirach 12:6. For the Most High hateth sinners.
The Most High hates sinners.
I was
He don't hate the sin. He hates the sinner, man. He hates the one that's put forth his work for mischief purposes. Alright? And that's why you see people being plagued. There's nothing but a plague. Disease warfare. And you're going to see number more hospital beds get filled out. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And it might not get better. This might be it. Alright?
Lord willing.
Yeah, Lord willing. How rock is that?
Down about this time, man.
For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
See that? And the Most High preserves you to the day of your punishment.
Yeah.
Alright? Somebody get Sirach. Oh, get yours out.
This is St. John, chapter 9, verse 31.
Bring it out.
Now we know that God heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth.
See, the Most High don't hear sinners. Alright? And why is that? Because you can't even bow down to his will. How are you going to ask somebody for something and you don't even want to? That's like biting the hand that feeds you.
Yeah.
That's like a kid growing up in a household all disorderly, throwing things around, don't want nothing, no structure,
No
but
discipline.
you want everything, man.
Yeah.
That's Israel in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It tells you Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked.
Yeah.
We kicked against the Most High.
I got something else.
We will bite the hand that feeds you.
This is Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 8.
Bring it out.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, says Yahweh.
See, the Lord said, your thoughts is not my thoughts. Alright? So the way that you think the Lord is, the way society perceives him to be, is completely opposite. Even the Messiah said, I come not with a sword. Alright? Not with peace.
For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
Right, so the Lord's ways is higher than we think, okay?
Right.
The average Jake can't get into this truth because they can't understand why a God would allow slavery,
Yeah.
why God would allow children to be murdered
How he could choose one people and
amongst everyone.
But those
Things that we understand because we simply are reading the precepts.
some stumbling blocks.
You got
Yeah.
the right to, the Most High has the right to do what He wants. His thoughts
right.
higher than your thoughts. Like people thought this society gonna keep going. They actually think that. That's one of their thoughts. That pretty soon everything's gonna open back up, and nothing else gonna happen behind it. Even if it does open back up,
And that would be the same.
it's not gonna be the same.
And with that, like, how could a church fly a rainbow flag
Yeah,
knowing what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah?
Right.
yeah.
They want that tithing, man.
It's a lot, and knowing what the actual rainbow represents, the covenant of Noah. You feel me? That he wouldn't flood the earth no more.
And now it's a covenant of wickedness.
Yeah.
It's a covenant for you to accept or be a part of the LGBTQ.
Turning things upside down.
And then they got that Q there, which means queer, which means strange or bizarre. So they telling on themselves, man.
Yeah, they
What they're
straight.
doing is strange and bizarre. And the Most High never was with none of that.
That's right.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 22.
If
Bring
this
it out.
society was righteous, you'd see sunny days most days. You wouldn't see chaos. You'd see peace, like the scriptures said. Yep.
Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
That was born in vain. A lot of Jake was born just to get this judgment now. So you gotta, that's heavy, ain't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
And let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
You see that? My plant. What does it say in Psalms, the 1st chapter? When you follow the ways of the Lord, you become as a tree planted. And by the living water, nobody can shake you. Okay? Our people are being shooken to and fro by every wind of a doctrine. That's why they believe in everything except the right thing. It's craziness. But there's a method to the Lord's madness. Did he say, didn't we just read his thoughts is higher than our thoughts? I once thought, well, why didn't the Lord give the laws to us inwardly to begin with? I once thought that. But his thoughts is higher than us, man. Israel needed to know what it was like. I imagine.
Appreciate it.
He said he laid out fire and water before you. Our people want the fire. Okay? They don't want the water.
It's a lot, bro. And you notice how our people love danger. You
Yeah.
feel me? That fire. You feel me? They love that fire, that danger.
Yeah. Who loves it the most? Esau. That's why they got daredevils, Esau.
Yep.
That's why they like being all high up and all that. That's why they put themselves through all type of dangerous situations. You'll see an Edomite walking around with nothing but his shorts on in the wintertime.
it's like, and since you said that, just reminded me, right? Esau likes to, like most Jakes be like, you want to jump out of a perfectly flying plane, you know,
Right.
with the parachute, right? But I saw a video where Edomite jumped out, did a free fall out of a plane without no parachute to land in a net. And he did it, but what Jake want to do that, man?
Yeah.
He reached for the fire.
Right. He wants that acceleration and that feel of that close to death.
It's a lot, bro. And what Yahweh shall say to say, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
Right.
Tempting the Most High like that, yo.
You're asking for it, man. Like this society's been asking for it, really. Man. They just passed the gay marriage, was that 2016? When Obama was still in office? They've been asking for it, bro. Right?
And what our people gotta understand. A lot of people love Obama, they gotta understand. George Soros is a damn Hamite.
I mean Obama, right?
That's his real name.
George Soros.
George Soros. He was the richest president ever in ever being elected to be president. Because his father was, I've got multi-billionaire. He was the richest president so far.
Man.
You know, so
I don't know that.
people gotta understand that.
And he Dick Cheney's cousin.
right.
Yeah.
It's a family affair, except for every president of the United States has been related to each other, except for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You still gotta wonder about
Yeah,
that.
who knows really in his
Right.
mind?
Yeah, but if you really think about it technically, he's still related to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Edomite.
Y'all guys, who am I holding something?
Oh,
I
I,
got Jeremiah 17.
I had Isaiah 5 and 7 about the plant.
Okay. I got one about the plan.
Okay. This is Isaiah chapter 5, verse 7.
Bring it out.
For the vineyard of Yahweh of hosts is the house of Israel.
See that? The vineyard of the Most High is Israel. Okay? He had planted us. He had watered us. Watched us grow. He didn't care about your other plants withering away. Moab, Ishmael, Edom.
And the man of Judah, his pleasant plant, and he looked for judgment. But behold, oppression for righteousness, but behold, a cry.
Exactly. But behold a cry. Right? I got people crying out right now. How can I say
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is.
and whose hope the Lord is, not hoping that pretty soon, what's been called?
That check.
That the,
Oh, that check they talking about.
The check. Oh, right, yeah, like the check. Everybody's supposed to get $1,200. Excuse me,
$1,200.
$1,200
$500 if you got a kid, actually.
to help out what's been going on with COVID-19. People hoping that they hope that the mall gonna reopen. They hope they can get their hair done soon again.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they going crazy.
And look, you're going to end up being backed into a situation where everything becomes so desolate and famished that you are begging for a vaccine or begging for a chick.
People probably hoping for the vaccine.
Yeah.
I just want it to be over type spirits.
I done seen that a couple times. People say that. Just
Right.
get this shit over with. Just because you've been stuck in the house for a couple of days, yo. That's
Right.
Jeremiah 17 and 7.
And this
Bring
ain't
it up.
nothing. This ain't no real lockdown. The real lockdown is you can't leave your house, man.
calm.
The real lockdown is you getting shot up in the street because you disobeyed curfews. That's what it's coming to. A man that's being able to enter into another city.
Yep.
All right.
Enemies coming in on you like a flood, filling up your block with troops and armored cars.
Yep.
Jeremiah 17 and 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river.
He shall be as a tree planted by the water. So this tree is going to grow and prosper and get life.
And shall not see when the heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked.
See, the heart is deceitful above all. So your heart, of course, is speaking on your mind. Your mind is deceitful. You might have all type of thoughts going in your mind. You got to understand that, like the scripture said, your mind can play tricks on you. Just like it says, your tongue is a fiery member.
Yep.
These are things you got to watch out for. You ready on that?
Yeah, that's it.
Right, but the Most High is going to what? Reward people's wickedness.
Well, with that, let me just add, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought. So fire and drought, parabolically to a tree, how does that equate to us?
Israel's dead already. That's why I talked about in Ezekiel 37. The dry bones. Our people have no living water. Right? They've been very dehydrated for a long minute now. Look at Isaiah 29.
Can I get this screenshot?
And 1. So, boy, that,
Because people, like you said, the heart is deceitful above all things. People more worried about the next check. People more worried about the society coming back. But the scripture, this is Matthew 6 and 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than them? So it's like the Most High, He allowed this to happen. He's going to feed you. He's going to give you what you need in these times if you really have trust and believe in Him. You feel me? That's for Israel.
Isaiah 30:1.
Bring it out.
Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt be your confusion.
Let the shadow of what?
Shadow of Egypt.
Be your confusion. Okay? Egypt is bondage. This is our people's confusion. Right? But what did the Lord say here? This is Sirach 24:22.
Bring it out.
He that obey me shall never be confounded. And they that work by me shall not do amiss. So you know what? The law, statutes, and commandments brings forth life.
Right?
Anything outside of that brings forth death. That's why the scripture said, you hate me, you love death.
And life and death is before men.
So you get it, so right, exactly.
You get to choose.
Right? And the Most High is going to distribute those prizes, so to speak, accordingly. Right? The elect's going to get sealed and have a hedge of protection. And everyone else is out there. Okay? Yeah, Isaiah 29.
29:1.
Yep.
This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Woe to Ariel, the city where David dwelt. Add ye year to year.
Where you at? Psalm?
Oh,
I'm
Salak.
my fault. I'm at Psalms 29.
I got Nahum chapter 3.
Okay.
This is Salakia. This is Psalms chapter 29, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Give unto Yahweh, all ye mighty, give unto the Lord glory and strength.
See that? Give unto the Lord glory and strength. You put your strength in the Lord. You know?
Give unto Yahweh the glory due unto his name. Worship Yahweh in the beauty of holiness. The voice of Yahweh is upon the waters.
The voice of the Most High is upon the water. You know?
The God of glory thundereth. The Lord Yahweh is upon many waters. The voice of Yahweh is powerful.
It's powerful. You know?
The voice of the Lord is full of majesty.
It's full of majesty. Just like how Yahushua is going to return. It says his voice was as many waters. He's going to come majestically as well. He's going to bring fear into people's hearts. You know?
Verse 5. The voice of the Lord breaketh the cedars.
The voice of the Lord breaketh the cedars. Keep going.
Yeah, the Lord breaketh the cedars of Lebanon.
Exactly. Keep going. The Most High is the one that performs earthquakes, natural disasters, hurricane season, all of it. Extreme heat, extreme cold. The Most High, all he needs is the elements to destroy you. He don't even need no Esau, these other nations doing nothing.
Yeah, it's extra.
You know that. Extra wings.
He maketh them also to skip like a cat. Lebanon and Syria like a young unicorn.
Like a young unicorn, which is the representation of like a rhino or like a animal with mighty strength, right?
Not a Pegasus.
Right, or an actual seahorse or whatever.
The voice of Yahweh divideth the flames of fire.
See that? The Most High divides the flame of fire. The Most High controls these elements. It tells you that he has death and life in his hands. Read on.
The voice of Yahweh shaketh the wilderness.
Shake of the wilderness, man. All right? And you better believe there's going to be more natural disasters, man-made, all of it. Keep going.
The Lord shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of Yahweh maketh the kinds, Salaki. The voice of Yahweh maketh the hinds to calve. That discovereth the forest, and in his temple doth every one speak of his glory.
Exactly, because nothing moves without the Most High's go ahead. Let me get Isaiah 54. Number 45.
The Lord sitteth upon the flood, yet the Lord sitteth kings forever. The Lord will give strength unto his people.
The Lord will give strength unto his people. Right now, we seem weak and feeble as a whole. But that's why the Lord's got a certain amount of spirits, Israelites, that are going to be those first fruits. Okay?
The
That's
Lord,
going to bring that's going to bring our nation back to the glory days.
right.
How it was.
The Lord Yahweh will bless his people with peace.
Will bless us with peace. You can never get peace amongst the wicked. Okay? That will never happen. The wicked has to be taken out the way first for there to be peace. So when they talk about peace on earth, that's not until mass death happens.
That's right.
That's not until the Messiah rolls around, comes back, and the Lord's true people are established. Because right now things are out of such order, right? That the good can never prosper in a place like this. It's being overtaken by evil. Yeah.
I was just want to bring that piece by piece. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 3.
Bring it out!
And it shall come to pass in the day of Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, or from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou hast made to serve. You know, just going to show is we're going to have peace in that day, but it's going to be in the time of the Lord. And this right now is just the beginning. This is, like they say, this is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
You know, we just getting started. Like I told one person before when we was talking about this COVID-19 and everything that's going on and everything with the earthquakes, the fires, like I said, remember in Rocky 3 when he was fighting Mr. T? What Mr. T told him? I got plenty more. I got a whole lot more. And that's what the Lord is telling you. He's got a whole lot more. You got a lot more coming down the pipe. This is just the beginning.
And they bugging out already.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, nothing has really happened yet besides
Nothing. You gotta be in
things
the
being
house.
shut down.
Yeah.
You gotta stay home for a little bit. Imagine when things really start rolling out.
Right.
He wasn't ready.
Jeremiah 28:8.
Bring it out.
The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Of war and of evil and of pestilence. That's all we're talking about. Wars, rumors of wars. We got Matthew 12, 25. This is like basic stuff. But the church won't ever bring anything out to educate people. Right? They just want to keep rocking you to sleep every Sunday. Yeah, you got Trump got the nerve talking about, hey, by Easter Sunday, everything gonna be good. The church is gonna be packed. Like, this devil got a lot of nerve. Whenever this thing subsides, that's up to the Lord,
That's right.
not Donald J. Trump.
And at the end of his last press conference, he was like, God bless you and God bless America. That's not his call.
At all. Ain't nothing this call. He's just the biggest puppet we ever saw. He's nothing but a TV star, man. And people still believe in this government and this political system, and
Liars, man.
they have a fair vote and all this nonsense, man.
Hey,
I hate y'all people, yo.
Continuing on, verse 9. The prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known.
Then shall the, so you see that? All these prophets are prophesying peace. Joel Osteen, your pastor. Okay, Donald Trump, all of them are preaching peace. But we'll see if it's gonna be peace.
Pastor Bag around.
Yeah, Pastor.
Yeah.
It's like real quick. And you know you got these so-called women who want to call themselves prophetess, and they be on the same page. That prosperity doctrine, man.